I'm not gonna lie. That was a pretty good Vancouver Canucks game. Vancouver loses 2-1 in regulation to the Ottawa Senators on the second half of a back-to-back. We already spoke yesterday about how the Canadiens absolutely stomped Vancouver's teeth in 6-3, but on the second half of a back-to-back, with Kevin Lankinen in net, the Canucks were facing a Sens team that has been through the ringer the past few games. In terms of their on-ice play, they've been losing a ton. And in terms of the team morale, it hasn't been worse. The Sens haven't played since Saturday, so they were well rested, and that definitely showed off in the overall numbers. Ottawa outshot Vancouver 40-20. So I guess with that ratio, the score of 2-1 is justified. But ultimately, Vancouver lost this game due to one 25-second span in the first period, wherein Artem Zub and Jordan Spence were both able to get some goals from the same area, beating Kevin Lankinen once on the glove and once on the blocker. The goals were almost exactly the same. Ottawa gets an offensive zone draw on the left, they win the draw, send it to the right side D, who comes in, shoots, and scores. Copy and paste moment for Artem Zub and Jordan Spence as the Sens get a 2-0 lead. It stays 2-0 until Elias Pettersson gets a goal 1 minute 17 seconds into the third, assisted by Linus Karlsson, who digs the puck up free in the corner and throws it over to Petey, who is by himself at the slot. He buries it, no mistake. Now, here's the thing about that. Kevin Lankinen, for what it's worth, he played pretty well. He made a beautiful save right on the goal line in the second period. What a crazy moment that was. But ultimately, Vancouver walks out of this game with their heads up high. They were able to survive most of Ottawa's high-octane offense in this game, and they kept things close to the very end. I get it, Ottawa gets a win after they've been struggling, but for the Vancouver Canucks, it's losses like these, where you can actually say, yeah, that was a meaningful and good result for this team. Regulation loss, another 2 points down the drain, and now the Vancouver Canucks have lost a total of 8 games straight, with 5 of those games being in regulation. Now, here's what I also wanted to talk about in this video. Yeah, we can talk about the game. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How do you feel about said game? But I wanted to focus on Vancouver's only goal of the night. Elias Pettersson, assisted by Linus Karlsson. There was a really interesting post made on Twitter by Sap that I wanted to highlight here in this commentary that goes over just what exactly Linus Karlsson means to this Vancouver Canucks team at this moment in time. We already made a video earlier in the month talking about Karlsson's contract extension, and while it's true that I will probably still argue that Linus Karlsson might have a little bit more value as a trade piece rather than a longer-term fit, this is what was talked about by Sap that I think deserves repeating. First, it's a post by Jack Hahn Hockey on Twitter, who said this, that Elias Pettersson would look so much more dangerous and be more productive if he had a winger who can, 1, win battles, and 2, extend play along the boards, not to mention 3, finish well on passing plays. Sap replied to this saying that that player used to be Andrei Kuzmenko, as much as people hate to say it. Now, unfathomably, it's Linus Karlsson. And this is an idea that I think a lot of Canucks fans have started to subtly see over the past few weeks here, how Linus Karlsson, while he is a journeyman, he was a guy that took so long to make it to the National Hockey League. He was traded, he was in the AHL a bunch, he had a path to get here. Despite the fact that he is already in the second half of his 20s, he is a player who, with the skills that he has, puck skills, nifty dangles, positioning ability, and finishing in tight skills, this is a guy who honestly plays the right way for an Elias Pettersson type player. He does everything that he needs to do, and he is not, as Jack Hahn Hockey says, a dump and chase cardio merchant. That's the reply by JFresh. Wouldn't Kiefer Sherwood supposed to be good for Pettersson? But no, Jack Hahn says the cardio merchants and dump and chase guys are not a great match for PD. This is exactly what we have seen throughout the course of the past few years. Kiefer Sherwood doesn't really play the best when he's with Elias Pettersson. He's more so a fit on a checking, grinding, effort-based line. You saw Ilya Mikheyev and Sam Lafferty play with Elias Pettersson in the 23-24 season. Pettersson was great on the power play, but at 5v5, the guy couldn't really carry Mikheyev and Lafferty to the production that we wanted to see out of those guys. Even when the 649 line was going on, Brock Boeser was never known for his foot speed, but Elias Pettersson was the main play-driving center on that line, and Boeser could finish. Miller, same thing. Now, you can also make the argument that Brock Boeser has just gotten worse, and therefore it's a tougher assignment for him to get that type of a role nowadays. But Linus Karlsson is a player who isn't really the fastest either, but he is just smart. He does what he needs to do, and the work that he's put in to become an NHL pro at this stage of his career warrants the contract. That aligns with what we had said in the video a few weeks ago. I'm happy for Karlsson to have gotten the money. I just question whether or not Vancouver would have been in a spot where that player profile is more valuable than whatever draft pick or what have you could have gotten for him in a trade. If Linus Karlsson can be a part of the solution to helping Elias Pettersson get back up on his horse, then maybe it actually is more valuable. But if that's not the case, and Elias Pettersson ends up getting traded, then maybe we might have another discussion on our hands that we need to dive into. In fact, this was talked about by Darren Dreger earlier this morning on Insider Trading. The Vancouver Canucks are listening, and they will listen to interest on Elias Pettersson, despite believing that if he gets a change of scenery and a new start somewhere else, he is going to thrive in a new environment. Now, this Dreger piece is very interesting. The idea that Vancouver believes in their heart of hearts that EP40 is going to be better if he goes to a new team. That Elias Pettersson is one of these guys that just needs that change of scenery to reignite everything, a la a Pierre-Luc Dubois, or a Jacob Chychrun, or really just anybody on Washington, to be clear. There's a lot to like out of Pettersson stylistically. It's just the pressure, the contract, all these things going on in Vancouver. It hasn't really helped him out on or off the ice, for that matter. So if Vancouver thinks that Petey can still be better than he has shown, and they also do find value in having conversations about trading him away, I do start to wonder what the future holds for this player and Vancouver's long-term decision-making. I guess this bleeds into each other, the Karlsson-Pettersson conversation, because if Karlsson is that good and he ends up becoming a new Andrei Kuzmenko-esque player to Elias Pettersson's career, then maybe there isn't a need to trade this guy. Who knows? I mean, we're talking about him after one game where he scored one goal off of a Linus Karlsson assist. Now, Petey has been a little bit better as of late, so I think this is a good time to bring this up, but still, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Firstly, what did you think of Vancouver-Ottawa today? And also, what is your response to the Linus Karlsson-Elias Pettersson conversation there? Do you think Linus Karlsson really is that important? And do you think he is a valuable piece when it comes to bringing Pettersson back to whatever it is he could be if he is at his best? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And Sens fans as well, if you want to have your fun in the comment section, that is very fair to do so as well. And bye.